Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about mistakes to avoid in Amazon FBA for 2021. I really wanted to film this video because some of these mistakes that I've made are super expensive. So I wanted to list them out to you guys so that you can learn from my mistakes and hopefully avoid them. Now, this is not to say that you're not going to make any mistakes in your Amazon FBA journey if you watch this video, but at the same time, it's good to try and avoid these mistakes so that you can at least save a little bit of cost. So my first mistake that I want to address is using my local post to ship out my inventory for Amazon. So usually your inventory is shipped straight from your manufacturer, but for me, I just wanted to make sure that my inventory was packed correctly. So my first order was, it was a smaller quantity, around 200 units, something like that. So I had them shipped to my house and I packed them myself just to make sure that everything was going smoothly, and then I had to ship them from Canada to the US Amazon warehouse. Now, the Canadian shipping rates are very expensive. If you're Canadian, then you know this. No matter what type of shipping rates you use, they are super expensive, especially if it's international. So I wanted to save a little bit of cost, so I used my local post, which is Canada Post. Now, the issue with this is that when you use your local post, you actually don't have any way of paying the customs and duties beforehand, meaning they don't have a broker that is able to have you pay those customs and duties online or through the phone or anything like that. The only option would be to pay them once they arrive at the door. This is a huge mistake. Number one, the shipping services are still pretty expensive. So I had to pay around $200 to ship them to the US warehouse. And then once they arrived there, they had some customs on them. And if Amazon receives any shipments with customs and duties on them, they will instantly refuse it, which means it comes back to you and you pay more shipping for that, and then you need to pay shipping again to ship it one more time. So this was my biggest mistake. So I would say do not use, whether it's USPS, whether it's Canada Post, wherever you live, whatever your local post is, do not use that. Make sure you are using either DHL, FedEx, UPS, or any of those international couriers. So another great option for shipping would be, once you're shipping from your manufacturer, to use something called DDP, which is Delivered Duties Paid. Now, this is really good because all the customs and duties are included in the shipping fees at the beginning, so you could just ship them out and you don't have to worry about having to pay any customs and duties once your inventory arrives. My second mistake is trademarking my brand before starting out. Now, this is why I say my course kind of pays for itself. It's because I give these little tips and tricks on how to get around these costs that you would normally have to pay for when starting your Amazon business. So trademarking your brand is one of these costs. Once you list your product for sale, you would have to list your product under your own brand so that you get that exclusivity on your listing. And when I say exclusivity, meaning you don't get the listing hijackers that can sell on your listing the same exact product for 50 cents or 20 cents cheaper than you, and then get the sale. So the thing with Amazon, and this is, I would say, one of the cons when it comes to Amazon, is that they always prioritize whatever is best for the customer. So if somebody else is selling, let's say for example, you are selling balloons and your balloons are not branded, they're just generic balloons, they have no brand on them, they are a set of 10 blue balloons. So if somebody goes on Alibaba and they purchase that same set of 10 blue balloons, if you don't have a brand, they could go on your listing and they could sell their balloons on your listing that you worked hard for, and they can sell it for 10 cents or 20 cents cheaper, and Amazon will automatically give that person the sale because they prioritize what is best for the customer, which in this case, it's the cheaper price. Having a brand prevents this from happening to your listing, which is really good. It's very valuable because at that point you have more control over your price point, and that is very important because of your profit margins. You need to protect your profit margins. So usually the only way to do this would be to do brand registry. So brand registry is basically you trademarking your brand in the US, but this can be very expensive. If you're a US citizen, it's usually, I believe, going to cost you around $600. But if you live outside the US, you would usually have to do this through a lawyer, which costs around $2,600. Now that is a lot, especially when you're just starting out your Amazon business. You definitely don't want to be spending $2,600 on a trademark for a brand, for a product that you're not even sure if it's going to be profitable or not, or if it's going to sell or not. The great way around this, I did this when starting off, and this is why I say this is one of my biggest mistakes, is because I did this when starting off when I didn't necessarily need to. So now I know a way around this, and I teach this in my course. So I'm gonna leave a link to my course down below in the description. But the way that you do this is you basically contact support and you let them know that you are experiencing this error, and you have to send them pictures of your packaging and everything like that, and then they basically bypass you so that you are able to list your product under your brand without doing the trademark just yet. So again, I teach this all in my course. The way that I teach it over there, you save a lot of money with these little tips and tricks, but this was one of my biggest mistakes, is trademarking my brand before even starting out. Now my third mistake is working with a supplier that responds slowly. This is, oh my gosh, one of my biggest regrets. I feel like I've wasted so much time on this mistake. And again, I talk about this in my course on how to filter through the suppliers and make sure you are choosing somebody that is actually gonna, you know, get you your products on time, that responds on time. I did not do that at the beginning, so I was, you know, amateur still when I started my Amazon store, when I started reaching out to suppliers. So my supplier was actually very slow with their responses. Order after order, I was getting my orders very late. It was taking way too long, and they just had an excuse for everything. I would say if your supplier is not professional from the beginning, if they are not responsive, then just don't go with them. Like, there are better suppliers out there that will respond to you, that want your business, that will remain professional. Another way that you can avoid this is by actually writing up a contract for your supplier and letting them know that, hey, I want my order within 3 weeks, and if you don't give me my order in 3 weeks, you're gonna have to pay me an X amount of dollars for every day that you are late. And they're gonna have to sign it because they want your business, and that way you can hold them accountable to getting your order on time. So my fourth mistake is my inventory was labeled incorrectly. Now this is a very costly mistake, and I would say this goes back to, again, still going with a supplier that was unprofessional, that was not responsive, that was not paying attention to detail. So I had sent around 300 units of a certain color of my sunglasses to Amazon, and my supplier had labeled a portion of those inventory incorrectly. So my customers had received the wrong color in their orders, and I was getting a lot of complaints and a lot of negative feedback because they ordered the turquoise color but instead they received the black color. So this obviously hurt my listing a lot, and it was very costly for me because then I had to remove my inventory from the Amazon warehouse. I had to send them to a third-party fulfillment center to correct those labels and then send it back to the Amazon warehouse, and that is very expensive. You really need to make sure that your supplier has had experience with Amazon before, and you know, you want them to send you videos of them labeling the items. You know, you want them to double check it. If you're still not sure, then have them send the first batch of inventory to your house first so that you can check it. And if there is any issue, once you catch it, once there's 1 or 2 customers, then instantly you want to take action to correct it. I waited too long, and I said maybe it's just 1 or 2 pieces, and I kept waiting until I got way too many negative reviews. So you never want to reach that step. You never want to have it get that far. Once you notice that there's, you know, a mistake like this from 1 or 2 reviews, then you instantly want to take action. Again, don't panic. Whatever happens with Amazon, whatever mistake you go through with Amazon, don't panic. There's always a solution, and keep in mind that whatever mistake you are going through, a million other people before you have gone through that same mistake. So there's always a solution. There's a solution for you to find on the internet. There's a service, there's a company that provides solutions for this. So definitely do not panic, but just take action and try to find a solution for your problem so that it doesn't get far enough for Amazon to have to take action on your listing. Alright guys, so that is it for now. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these videos. The more I go on with my own Amazon journey and experience more mistakes, I'm going to keep sharing them with you guys. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to see you guys next week.